What is up, everybody? I am Crimson Thunder. Welcome back to this Let's Play as Sentinels of the Multiverse, the video game. Last time we ended up stomping on Gloomweaver, sending him back to his realm of discord where he belongs. So today we're going to take on Akash'bhuta, aka Mother Nature. And this is not going to be an easy fight, because if you look at Akash'bhuta, whoops, wrong button. She by far has the most hit points out of any of these villains in the game, starting with 200. So we're gonna take on 5 heroes this time because of the how long it's gonna be. First one I'm gonna do is the Urgent Ed Up because of Nemesis. Second one that's gonna be going along is Fanatic. Third one I'll take along with me is Fugue Steak Parse, since there's an insane amount of things I do with her. Number 4, I'm going to bring along, and why not, the Southwest Sentinels. And number 5, we're going to bring and there's a lot of targets, so we're gonna bring along Tempest. And we're gonna do this in definitely not Enclave of the Endlings, because this is gonna be really good. Let's go to the Docthorian capital. And we'll do this on standard with Argent Edip, Fanatic, Fugue State Pars, Sentinels, and Tempest, and Docthorian capital. Let's fight. Another singing magician. I have eaten so many of your kind. You're next. Your ageless chaos shall not destroy this world and this age. Okay, so there's no special setup for Akash'bhuta. She just starts interplay with the Chaos Bound Creator side up. Whenever an environment target enters play, the top card of the villain deck is played. Whenever a villain target enters play, the top card of the environment attack is discarded. And when the environment trash is shuffled into the environment deck, Akash'bhuta flips, but she may only flip this way once per turn. When she flips, she becomes the Avatar of Destruction, which we'll get more into when it comes, which usually will happen. Her deck primarily consists of a lot of primeval limbs, like this one. And at the end of the villain turn, this card deals the non-villain target with the highest HP for melee damage. When this card is destroyed, Akash'bhuta deals herself 12 energy damage. Now, all these primeval limbs normally will hurt her whenever they're destroyed for the amount of hit points that they have. So, discard the one on deck, then the phalanges will hit Fanatic for 4. And the Therothian military is discarded as a result. Now the Argent Edip also is a complexity 3, and for new players, I would not recommend playing this guy if you're new at this, because this guy requires a lot of planning, and he's mostly support, and he doesn't have a lot of ways to deal too many damage. He allows a lot of players to do certain things outside of the turn. And he's got harmonies, melodies, and rhythms, which are songs that he has, which are played by his instruments or by his singing. So we got Drake's pipes. This will allow him to activate the perform text of up to 2 different melody cards, like this. And all the harmonies and the rhythms have performed and accompanies, while the melodies do not. So, in this case, I'm going to play this harmony called Inspiring Supertonic. And the perform allows one player to use a power, and if an accompany is activated, Argent Edip regains 2 HP. Now, the regular variant of them is vocalized to activate any perform text of any card, so He's gonna sing, and he's going to allow one hero to use one power. And in this particular case, I'm going to allow Parse to play her ability, which is to play the bottom card of her deck. And then if she ended up discarding anything, which not in this case, she can allow one other to play the bottom card of their deck. Now we got updated intel. And Sherizo of the Frost and Flame is a melody, which deals 1 fire, 1 cold. And now we're back with Fnatic. Okay, Brutal Censure. And what I recommend I usually do is always go for the Primeval Limbs, because they're the one, because that's usually destroying these is usually the primary source of damage for Akash'bhuta. So I'm going to do 2 radiant damage and then draw 1 card to smite the Transgressor. This will allow her to do 2 melee damage, and she can use an additional power this turn. Now I'm going to go Exorcism, and we're going to hit Phalanges for 1 melee and 1 radiant damage, and draw a Sanctifying Strike. Now I'm going to go Synaptic Analysis, and we're going to do this on Parse, since she needs to get set up. Existentiary Awareness, and Reveal the Flaws. As you know, this Reveal the Flaws allows all heroes to deal irreducible damage until this goes away. And Parse is going to play the bottom card of a deck, Exploit Vulnerability, which, whenever a non-hero target enters play, increase damage dealt to that target by 1 until the start of the environment turn. Now the Sentinels is also a difficulty 3. Now this is instead of having 1 character, these consist of 4, and usually their health is a lot less. But these guys are technically not out of the game until all 4 are incapacitated, and there are ways to get rid of them. But be very careful though. Whenever one's discarded is incapacitated, it makes the whole team a lot weaker. And mostly it's one-shots, like this one, but there's also 4 signature cards, 1 for each of one of these Sentinels. We have Wraith, Dr. Medico, Mainstay, and the Idealist. Unique capabilities will allow me to search for a signature card and put it into play, shuffle the deck, draw a card, and play a card. So, and I'm going to go with this Hippocratical Oath to start off. Whenever Dr. Medico would deal damage, prevent that damage and instead heal one hero target for that much HP. And at the end of the of your turn, if Dr. Medico is active, up to 3 targets regain 1 HP each. And I'm also gonna put out this Caligatinous Form, and this is for Wraith. The first time that Wraith would be dealt damage each turn, reduce that damage by 2 and redirect it to the villain target with the highest HP. So this is also really useful. Now the next card I'm going to play is Team Communication. You draw 4 cards and you can then play another card. Or Vision, another Sentinel Tactics, Coordinated Strike, and Good Hero, Bad Hero. Now the other key card of this whole deck is the Sentinel Tactics. The first time one of the Sentinels deals damage each turn, you may use a power, which is also very good because the Idealist has a tendency to deal a lot of psychic damage. So I'm going to hit the Phalanges for 2 irreducible thanks to the Reveal the Flaws. And when that happens, the Sentinel Tactics allows me to use another one of these powers as long as it's not the same one. You can only use 1 copy of each power per turn. And I'm going to have, since I'm not in danger of anything, I'm going to have Wraith reveal the bottom card of any deck, like It's a Fanatic. I can either trash it or put it on top of the deck. And since this is not really one of those useful cards, I'm just going to trash it. Dark Illusions. And I'm going to heal Fanatic for 1. And healing any of the villain cards is dumb, so I wouldn't do it. Okay, so with here I'm going to go ahead and start off with doing Gene-Bound Shackles. This will increase damage dealt by Tempest to the villain target with average HP by 2. And I'll go Squall. I'm going to hit Akash'bhuta for 3. Irreducible, and 1 irreducible to the Phalanges. Draw a Flash Flood. Environment turn. Abject Refugees. This is a civilian. Now, the environment is basically a civil war on this city called Docthorin, which basically is there's a bunch of minions. There's some minions. There's some Thorathians, and there's a bunch of civilians. There's one card for each, that like the rebel headquarters and the authority ziggurat. One of them is more favored towards the villain, and the other one's favored more towards the heroes. So with authority ziggurat, villain targets are immune to damage dealt by Thorian cards like the Thorathian military. And at the end of the environment turn, if there are fewer Thorathian targets than non-Thorathian environment targets, play the top card of the environment deck. And for the headquarters, hero targets are immune to damage dealt by civilian cards. At the end of the environment turn, if there are fewer civilian targets than their non-civilian targets, play the top card of the environment deck. So, and there's a bombardment which destroys the rebel headquarters, so you want to keep that around as much as you can. And as long as and there's also freedom fighters, and the card that just came out with the abject refugees. So at the start of the environment turn, each player can draw a card. Whenever this card will be dealt damage, a player can discard their card to redirect that target the damage to a hero target. So the best thing you could probably do is make sure that keep this card around as much as you can. But if you absolutely have to get rid of these cards, then it's okay. So, and whenever this comes out, the Living Rock Slide comes out, another Primeval Limb. And at the end of the villain turn, this card deals each non-villain target 3 projectile damage. When it's destroyed, it deals like a boost to 10. And when it comes into play, the top card of the environment is discarded. And let's see here. When a villain turn the card into play, reveal the bottom card of any deck and put it either on top or the bottom. For the eruption, I'm going to at least put that in the bottom because it's just going to keep revealing a whole bunch of limbs, which I don't need. Right, another Living Rock Slide. Okay, we're gonna go with Parse. Put that on top. Now Fanatic take the hit. I'd rather not. I'd rather just let this one go. I know I said that you usually want to keep it around, but it's if you have a bunch of cards, it's not always the practical. Because Akash'bhuta can do a lot of damage if you let it get away. So I'm gonna go with the Serho Frost and Flame. I know to a lot of people this is one of his most useless cards, but I'd rather just play it now. And I'm going to have Parse play the bottom card of her deck. Buffer Overflow, which is good. turn. I'm gonna go Holy Nova. Deals every non-hero target 1 radiant damage. And then everybody heals for 1. And I'm gonna hit the phalanges for 2. Absolution, which I'm gonna need. Reveal the flaws is destroyed. Okay, I'm going to go. Let's see. Between the lines, I'm gonna let the Sentinels have Idealist hit the phalanges for 2. Going to destroy. Akash'bhuta hit herself for 12. And I'm going to use a power. I'll let Dr. Medico heal Idealist for 3. Then I will reveal play the bottom card of the deck, which is not going to do anything because of dynamiting. Now, the next card I'm going to play is Dark Illusion. If Wraith is active, he'll deal every villain target 2 infernal damage, and if the Idealist is active, she'll deal 1 target 3 psychic damage. Since it combos pretty well with Exploit Vulnerability, I'm going to do so. So I'm going to continue to heal, because I know we took a lot of damage. Dr. Medical gain 3. And hit the Riven Rock Slide. And I'm going to hit the Living Rock Slide for 2. Draw 1 card. And I'm going to heal Argent Adept, Mainstay, and Fanatic. Grievous Hailstorm, because this will wipe out the rest of the board. Hit Akash'bhuta for 4. Destroy the Living Rock Slides, and Akash'bhuta will hit herself for 10 each. Freedom Fighters. This will hit all targets for 2 electric. I'm definitely gonna get rid of that. Actually, should I? No, I'm gonna let that stay out. I know it's annoying, but since I have the Sentinel, it's not that bad. Let's see, Fanatic. Gonna leave that up, put that on top, and everybody gets hit for 2 electric. Realms get hit for some of that. I'm gonna get rid of the Primeval Eruption because that's having multiple limbs come out is unacceptable. The phalanges are okay. Parse is going to put that on the bottom of the deck because I like playing that. And Idealist can't deal damage via the Snaring and Brambles. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna put out this Sarabande of Destruction. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Frost and Flames, combining with the powers of that to soften up the phalanges for 4. Silver Shadow. Absolution. This will give her the power to give her 1 hit point, and I get to select melee fire or radiant damage, and she gets to deal that target that much damage. For 3 of that damage. So the phalanges are now down to 4. Snap Decision, because I'm going to need to start discarding some stuff. Play the Critical Multiplier, that's on the bottom. Impossible shot. Okay. I'm going to play this, so this will heal the Sentinel with the lowest HP, 3 HP. Then if Mainstay active, he's gonna deal some damage to one of the limbs. I'll hit the brambles for 4. I'm gonna have Wraith extract the Sentinels. I can trash that because I don't need it. Then I'm gonna have Mainstay use his block, and until the start of the next turn, reduce damage dealt to the Sentinels by 1. Second chance. One of those revives. So I'm gonna heal Mainstay, Fanatic, and Parse. I'm gonna go ahead and do this Elemental Subwave Inducer. What this will do is at the start of my turn, I get to select a damage type. All damage dealt by Tempest is now that type, and I get to reduce damage to Tempest of that type by 1 until the start of the next turn. I don't always find this the absolute best thing, but it can help with certain situations if your opponent is usually dealing only one type of damage each, so a certain type of damage. So we'll go ahead and just play that. So I'm going to hit everything, kill the brambles, hit the freedom fighters, shielding winds, environment turn, orbital bombardment. That's an absolute must get rid of ASAP. The flames are gone, so all the stuff is being taken less damage. The mountainous carapace will reduce damage dealt to Akash'bhuta by 1, and when it's destroyed, it'll deal 11 damage. The authorities are now discarded, which is good. Let's see, the authority capital. We'll put that in the bottom of the deck. Alright, so I'm gonna play Drake's Pipes. So I'm gonna start doing some melodies. Now, first thing I'm gonna do is blow up this orbital bombardment because we don't need that just doing anything. Then I'm gonna deal 4 damage to this carapace. Draw 1 card. Alright, Smite the Transgressor. I'm going to hit the carapace for 3. Then I get to use 2 powers this turn. Gonna perform an exorcism on the carapace. That's destroyed. She'll hit herself for 11 minus 1. Then I'm going to hit Akash'bhuta for 1 fire. Now for her, I'm going to discard or reveal the flaws and boost her damage. And I'm gonna play Gauge. Then I'll go reveal the flaws. I'm gonna reveal the top card of Akash'bhuta deck, which I'll keep on top. Then I'm gonna draw 1 card. And then draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play the next one, the Aura Vision. Then I'm going to have the Idealist hit Akash'bhuta for 2 irreducible and continue to keep blocking. I'm going to heal Mainstay, Dr. Medico, and Parse. Alright, I'm going to do Lightning because the Freedom Fighters. Shielding Winds. Then I'm going to do the Grievous Hailstorm. Actually, this will kill the Freedom Fighters, but they'll be alright. Environment turn. What do you know? It's Freedom Fighters. Brings this mountainous carapace. And I'm gonna look at Tempest now. I'll put this on the bottom of the deck if I don't need it. Everybody's gonna get hit for some damage. The subwave actually reduced the damage too. Oh great. This is rejuvenating Itropary. I got to blow up 5 equipment cards and restore all the limbs to their all environment targets and their limbs back to their max HP. Fanatic, bottom of the deck. Unfortunately, this blows up absolutely everything. But nothing else happens. Vertical Sonata. This heals all heroes for 1, and then everyone gets to put 1 card from their trash to the top of the deck. Like the Pipes, the Absolution, Sonatic Analysis, Unique Capability, and the G-Val Shackles. Gonna have the Argent Ed up, start doing some damage to the Carapace. Draw the Pipes. Sanctifying Strike. I'll hit the Mountainous Carapace for 2. Draw the Absolution. Exorcism on the Carapace. Draw Holy Nova. I'm going to discard an Impossible Shot to buff up Parse and do the Sonatic Analysis on herself. Going to have to play this to have Tempest deal some more damage. Only reducible. And play this to look at the next 2 cards. Targeting Arrow. This will hit Akash'bhuta for 3 and increase damage to it by 3. By 1, I'm sorry. So now the target arrow is increasing damage to 2 until the start of the turn. So now I'm going to do the Impossible Shot. Now I'm going to hit 5. Draw 1 card. Quick calculation's always great. Look at the top card of Akash'bhuta. Keep that on top. Draw between the lines and recompile. So I'm going to have the Sentinels draw a card. Unique capabilities. Now I'm going to go get the last signature, which is the Dursteel Chains. This is for Mainstay. It'll increase damage dealt by Mainstay by 1 and reduce damage dealt to Mainstay by 1. And combine this with the Coordinated Assault. One of your heroes' targets deals 1 target X melee damage, where X is the number of active hero cards plus 1. Combine this with Mainstay. He's going to deal a 5, 6, plus 2, 8 damage. Wow. Now I'm going to use the power to hit Akash'bhuta for another 4. And I'll go ahead and have Rife extract from Parse. And definitely trash that. Fling of the Darkness. Gonna heal Parse, Fanatic, and Argent Adept. Now I'm gonna go Otherworldly Resilience to reduce his damage dealt to him by 1. And I'm going to keep hitting. And I'll draw my G-Val Shackles. I'm actually doing a lot more damage than I thought. Orbital Bombardment, that's going to be a problem. Allies of the Earth. What this does is when an environment target enters play, Akash'bhuta regains HP equal to the HP of that target. Argent Adept. I'm going to put that on top of the deck. Drake's Pipes. Play the Pipes. I'm going to blow up this bombardment because that's more of a problem than the Allies of Earth. And I'm going to hit, wow, Akash'bhuta for 8. And since they're also Nemesis too, so that also helps. Now I'm going to replay the Absolution. Heal Fanatic 1, and I'm going to deal 5 radiant damage to Akash'bhuta. Now the targeting arrow's all done. I'm going to play this card between the lines, so pump up Parse again. Now I'm going to play quick calculation. I'm going to put gauge. I'm going to put the gauge on the very bottom of the deck. Draw 2 cards. Recompile. Since I don't really need any of this, I'm going to discard 2. Actually 3. Pumping up Parse. I'll draw 6 cards. Like the targeting arrow. I'm going to gauge. And I'll put that on the bottom, since I don't like, since that's usually a problem card. And let's see here. Let's have Tempest draw a card, since he has the least amount. And once again, I'll go Coordinated Assault. Gonna have Mainstay hit Akash'bhuta for 6. Idealist is going to hit him for another 2. Then I'll have, you know what, I'll have Dr. Medico heal Arjanet up. Draw Sentinel Tactics. Then heal Fanatic, Parse, and Tempest. Put down the Gene-bound Shackles. So we're gonna hit Akash'bhuta for 4. Another Flash Flood. Thorathian Military. It's gonna heal. Now we got the we got 5 limbs coming, which is not good. Actually, reveal the pop cards, and looks like there are only, yeah, there's exactly 5 left in the deck, so we should be fine. And keep that on the bottom. Entomb. So we only got the Phalanges. So we got lucky. And the Freedom Fighters. And this will reduce damage dealt by this card by 1. At the end of the environment turn, this card deal each non-Thorathian card get 2 energy damage each. So now the Carapace is back. Let's look at Tempest. Fanatic's gonna get hit for 4. Alright, let's go with the counterpoint bulwark. It's a rhythm. Select up to 2 targets. Until the start of the next turn, reduce damage dealt to those targets by 1. And the accompany, 1 player may draw a card. I'm going to play Melanie. Kill the military because they did not like his singing. And I'm going to hit the Carapace for 4. Arcane Cadence is awesome. Holy Nova. Hit the limbs for 2. Heal everybody else for 1. I'm going to use Absolution to punch the Phalanges for 4. So I'll discard a Segmentation Fault to pump up Parse. I'm going to play Recompile, discarding an extra updated intel. Data mining. And the other Segmentation Fault, because I'm not going to need it for the rest of the game. I'll draw 6 cards. Impossible Shot, Buffer Overflow, Critical Multiplier, another Recompile, another Critical Multiplier, Engage. Play Critical Multiplier. I'm going to use a Reshuffle, but I can't, but because it's another limited, I cannot play it. And I'm going to have Fanatic play it. Although that might not have been the best move. Actually, no, I already knew that was, I already knew that was there. So I'm actually going to go back and use a power. I'm actually going to have Tempest Reclaim for the Deep. So, let's see. Sonata. So we'll go Smite the Transgressor. We can skip that. Team Communication and the Elemental Subwave Inducer. And he'll draw it. And partial draw reveal the flaws. Tempest draw one more card. Localize Hurricane. Positive Energy. All heroes are going to heal 1. And then Fanatic hits everything else for 2, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to hit this for 3. Then Akash'bhuta is going to keep hitting herself for quite a bit. And I will have Rife extract Parse, his bottom card. Put that on top. Team Communication. Mainstay, Fanatic, and Parse. Ball Lightning. I'm gonna hit Akash'bhuta for 6, and I'm gonna blow up that armor. Then I'm going to do Hailstorm to hit for another 4. So we're already down for 15. So shuffle. This is shuffled, and now she is now the Avatar of Destruction. Whenever environment target is destroyed, the top card of the villain deck is played. Whenever a villain target is destroyed, the top card of the environment deck is discarded. When the environment trash is shuffled into the environment deck, she will Akash'bhuta will flip, but she can only flip this way once per turn. So now she's pretty angry. And the Thorathian Military will hit everybody for 2. Earth Sacrifice. I'll destroy 5 hero ongoing cards. Discard as many cards from the top of the environment deck as the cards destroyed by this card. So this is not good. Alright, let's go with the Doctorian Capital. And we'll leave this on the bottom because I don't like minions. At this point, we'll get rid of Shielding Winds. The Counterpoint, because I don't need it. Get rid of the Extrasensory Awareness. The Gauge. And Exploit Vulnerability. Now, Arcane Cadence is Argent Edip's best. I'll look at the top 5 cards of the deck. I'll put one of them into the hand. This Instrument of Congregation. Put one on top, such as the Sonata. Put one card on the bottom, the Bulwark. I'll trash the Drum, and then put the other card into play. It's not out of hand. Preparation on top. Supertonic on bottom. Trash the Sarabande Destruction. And I'll play the Alacris Subdominant. Now I'm going to sing, allowing Argent Adept to play to conjure an instrument. I'm gonna want the horn, so I'm gonna go into the deck. Grab the Edacious Horn, draw 1 card, which is the Terramund's Lyra. Draw 1 card for turn. And since we're pretty much going to finish him off, so Divine Focus, Absolution, hitting it for fire. And I'm going to play Gauge. So I'm gonna parse and parse. I'm going to play Recompile. Targeting Arrow. parse. I'm just gonna pump up parse. And buffer overflow. This game's definitely over. I'll draw 6 cards. And let's see, 16 damage. Divine Focus. And this one's for you, Polius Plays. I'm gonna play the Impossible Shot, and I'm gonna hit Akash'bhuta for 19, irreducible. And that just ruined her day. So Akash'bhuta may start off with 200 hit points, but as you probably saw, if you play it right and keep blowing up all the limbs, you can bring it down fairly quickly. So I say this got thunderstruck, literally. So in terms of these battles and the Let's Play of Sentinels of the Multiverse, I am Crimson Thunder, signing off, and see you next time.